Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming in such short notice. Welcome to Mrs. Store. Please have a seat.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
I'm Dariani, Mrs. Store CEO.
Nice to meet you. We are the USB team of foreign trade. I'm Antoniela and I'm an expert in the importation field. So is my partner John.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I am Emily. My area of expertise is exportation. It's an honor to be working with you.
We are looking forward to help you with this new strategy for your business.
Thank you very much. So let's get started. The goal of this year is to expand our offering, particularly new sign from the UK, in order to diversify our offer to our appreciated customer and because it's a trending product. We also want to become more competitive by importing that product, which is very attractive, modern, durable, versatile, and in addition is also environmental. Environmental protection becomes a powerful global issue and new sites are very energy efficient. And science is the first time we import. We would like to get some sort of to advice related to the methods of payment for international transaction.
First of all, there are four commonly used terms of payment in international trade. Each of them offers different levels of risk and instability for buyers and sellers.
While the buyer will choose the cheapest and longest term payment type, the sellers would prefer cash payment, which is the most advantageous type and the one with the less risks.
What are those payment methods in foreign trade?
The payment methods are cash in advance, open account, documentary collection, and letter of credit.
What does it mean?
Well, the cash in advance or advance payment method allows the buyer to pay cash in advance to the seller. Paying in advance gives the greatest protection for the seller and puts the risk on the buyer. Wire transfers and credit cards are the most commonly used cash in advance options available for exporters.
Nevertheless, the payment does not guarantee the shipment or delivery of the goods from the sellers. A buyer readily pays cash up front before receiving an assurance that the goods will be shipped and that the quality of the goods ordered will be delivered. For this reason, with advance you not to use it because it will create cash flow problems. Also, this method is often too expensive and too risky for foreign buyers.
What about an open account?
An open account transaction means that the goods are manufactured and delivered before payment is necessary. If you decide to establish a long-term business relationship, this method will provide you a great flexibility. But it is fair to mention that this method will be placing the risk on the exporter.
This method cannot be used safely unless the buyer is creditworthy and the country of destination is politically and economically stable. It will depend on the reputation you build in the market and if you are solvent.
Let's say this is your first time importing a product. This means you and your seller don't know each other well enough, so it's possible that the seller won't want to take the credit risk or the risk of dealing with a particular country when offering payment terms to the buyer.
So if that's the case, how I can proceed when either the cash is a paying method is not doable for me as a buyer or the opening account method is not doable to the seller.
In that case, a method you can use is the documentary collection. With the documentary collection method, the seller or exporter ships the goods and draw a draft or bill of exchange to the buyer or to the importer through an intermediary bank.
Bill of chain, what does that mean?
In documentary translation, sellers make a right demand on point either at back or the buyer to pay for the shipment. This demand supports the documentation's package the seller presents to the bank. This formal written demand for payment is called bill of exchange or draft.
There are four parties involved in documentary collection method: the buyer, collecting or presenting bank, buyer's bank, the seller, and the remitting bank, seller's bank.
And how does it work?
First of all, the seller sends the draft to the remitting bank. Then the remitting bank, as an intermediary, sends the draft to the collecting presenting bank, and the collecting or presenting bank, as an intermediary, makes the document available to the buyer.
On the other hand, the buyer, after examining the document, has three options: pay immediately, pay at a future date, or refuse to pay for the draft. Excuses: we are going to call our bank's experts so she can provide you more information.
But what happens when the trust is paid?
The title documents are released to the buyer so he or she can obtain possession of the goods. As the title to the goods is not transferred until the draft is paid or accepted, both the buyer and the seller are protected. However, nothing prevents the buyer from refusing a draft for payment.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Dariani and I'm head for the financial department in USB, foreign trade.
Hi Dariani, you're welcome.
Hello. Okay, let's keep going. The use of drafts involves a certain level of risk. They are less expensive for the purchaser than letters of credit. In such cases, the exporter who has already shipped the goods faces the problem of getting his or her merchandise back, which may involve warehousing or insurancing the goods, or even disposing of the merchandise at the collection point.
If the buyer refuses or defaults on payment of the draft, the seller may also have to pursue collection through the courts, or possibly by arbitration if such have been agreed upon between the parties.
When payments are carried out on the collection basis, the legal responsibility of the bank is limited by the transfer and issuance of document against payment or a statement of bills of chain. The collection order is the key document prepared by the seller specifying the terms and conditions of a documentary collection. It must be prepared with great care and precision as the bank are only permitted to act upon the instruction given in the order and not on the instruction from past transaction or verbal understanding. It contains information such as the payment period as agreed with the buyer, the name and the address for the buyer or his bank, and some other elements. Are there different types of documentary collection? Yes, there are different types. Documentary collection signed draft method or documentary collection time draft method. The parties involved are the principal, the seller, the exporter, or the drawer. The remitting bank, the seller's bank, the collecting bank, buyer, and the drawer of buyers. Last but not least, what is a letter of credit?
A letter of credit is a document used by a bank at the buyer receives in favor of seller. It's guaranteeing that the buyer will pay the agreed amount of money to the seller within a specific period of time, providing that the seller conform to the product specification and document requirements of the buyer.
The letter of credit has been a keystone of international trade for many years. It has various alternative payment methods available for buyers and sellers of goods or services. It is the most common payment method because the seller will not ship the goods without the bank's assurance of payment.
The parties concerned with a letter of credit are the applicant, who is the importer, the beneficiary, where the exporter is generally the party named in the letter of credit in whose favor the letter of credit is issued, the issuing or applicant bank, and the advising bank, which informs the beneficiary that another bank has issued a letter of credit in their favor.
Company entering the international market, the letter of credit is an important payment mechanism that needs to be understood. Can you send me more detail by mail? It looks like we're run out of time.
Yes, sure, this is an important decision to make. We will send you all the information you need so you can decide the best option for you. Then we can start the negotiations with the seller.
Sound good. Thank you for everything. See you on Friday.